Mr. Speaker, honorable members of the House of Assembly, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the listening and viewing public, it is with a great sense of gratitude to God that I bid a very pleasant and blessed good morning to you all. Mr. Speaker, it is indeed a great pleasure for me to address a message to this august body and the nation for a 10th time in my capacity as President of the Commonwealth of Dominica on this most significant occasion of the formal opening of Parliament, the first meeting of the first session of the 11th Parliament under the Commonwealth of Dominican Constitution Order. I am pleased to be here and wish, first of all, to express sincere thanks to you, Mr. Speaker, for the invitation extended to my wife and I to the formal start of the 2023-2024 parliamentary session. My wife, Clara, joins me in thanking you most earnestly for your kind and gracious invitation. Please accept, Mr. Speaker, my sincere congratulations on your re-election as Speaker of this Honorable House. Having served this last 3 years in the Speaker's chair, you have gained much experience and understanding of the rules and customs of this legislative assembly. I have every confidence that you will continue to excel in presiding over the deliberations of this 11th Parliament and apply the standing orders of discretion, objectivity, and impartiality. I pray that the good Lord favors you with the spirit of wisdom and patience as you continue to exercise this sacred duty. Congratulations are also offered to you, Senator the Honorable Philip Rowe, on your re-election as Deputy Speaker of the House. I was very impressed with the way that you presided over the business of the House when the opportunity presented itself, and I have no doubt that you will maintain the professional approach to your role during this 11th Parliament. I also offer congratulations to all the honorable members who were successful in the December 6, 2022 general elections, as well as the 5 senators who were appointed on the advice of the Honorable Prime Minister, and the 4 senators on the advice of the Honorable Leader of the Opposition to complete the composition of this Honorable House. I commend and congratulate the Honorable Prime Minister in leading this party to success at the polls. I believe, sir, that you have become the only Prime Minister in the Caribbean history to have served 6 consecutive terms as Prime Minister and to have led your party successfully to 5 consecutive general election victories. This is an extraordinary achievement that needs to be acknowledged and applauded. I sincerely wish to commend and congratulate the Honorable Leader of the Opposition, who was sworn in by the President on Tuesday, the 20th day of December 2022, and to say to you, Madam, and to the members of the parliamentary opposition, that yours is a most sacred task, and encourage all of you to remain true to the oaths that you have subscribed to this morning, and to be constructive in your contributions to the debates in this House and the general governance of the affairs of the state. Mr. Speaker, the general elections campaign had all of the usual meetings and rallies and walks and marches. But we did not see a repetition of the regrettable incidents which occurred in the lead-up to the 2019 poll, nor the violence on Election Day 2019 itself. I therefore wish to congratulate all the shareholders, and that means all of us, in the December 6th elections for a peaceful conduct of the polls. Mr. Speaker, please permit me at this juncture to offer a few words of advice to the new members of this honorable House. That is, all 6 members of the opposition and 9 first-time members on the government side. Parliament is the supreme legislative body where matters affecting governance and affairs of state are deliberated upon and voted into law. Freedom of speech without threat of legal action for slander is one of the most important privileges enjoyed by members of Parliament. However, the right to speak is governed by the standing orders of the House. The standing orders are essential to safeguard and maintain order and decorum when debates are taking place. The standing orders provide guidance as to what you can say, how you can say it, when you can say it, and for how long you can speak on each matter. The Speaker of the House presides over the proceedings of the House and is charged with the responsibility of maintaining order in the chamber by ensuring that the rules of the House and established practices are followed and respected. Additionally, the Speaker has the duty to interpret the rules and give guidance as to the practices of the House to ensure that the debate is focused. His rulings on points of order raised by members is final. So while the Speaker of the House is charged with maintaining the dignity and the decorum of the House, each of you must take responsibility for your behavior and to make your contributions in an appropriate manner. I therefore make a special appeal to you to have due regard to the rulings and admonitions of the Speaker and to familiarize yourself with the standing orders of the House. I encourage you, whether elected or appointed as a senator, to aim to become an effective member of Parliament. This would require you to seek advice, to always prepare for the debate by reading and conducting research, to always have a firm grasp of the issues at hand, and develop good research techniques and organizational skills. It is a daunting task, but the rewards in terms of personal growth, confidence, satisfaction in the attainment of a wealth of knowledge and respect by your peers and constituents are immense. Mr. Speaker, during the last 9 years, since being elected by this honorable House as President of Dominica, initially on the 2nd of October 2013 and re-elected on the 2nd of October 2018, I subscribed on both occasions to the prescribed oaths pertaining to the office of the President and indicated unequivocally in my acceptance speeches that I was assuming the office of President without malice or ill will towards anyone, without fear of intimidation, and with respect for the traditions, laws, and Constitution of Dominica, which I swore to uphold. I have remained true and loyal to these commitments and by God's grace and goodness, I have been discharging the functions of the office of the President for these 9 years plus, as outlined in the Constitution, with the highest sense of dedication, impartiality, objectivity, fairness, and consideration for all, and have sought to maintain a sense of dignity and serenity in the office of President. Mr. Speaker, honorable members of the House of Assembly, thus far, it has been a rewarding, fulfilling, and enjoyable experience serving my people and nation. As with everything else in life, there will be good moments and difficult and challenging moments. Overwhelming challenges emerged within my first 5-year term as well as during my second term. Foremost to mind are Tropical Storm Erica in 2015, Hurricane Maria in 2017, unpredictability of weather patterns due to global warming and climate change, the COVID-19 pandemic, and the global impact of the Russian-Ukraine war. The President is also challenged by the impact of other social ills confronting the state, such as crime, violence, and acute political division. As a prayerful and resilient people and nation, we have been able to address the impacts of these challenges and have nevertheless made great progress and strides in many sectors, particularly in the areas of physical infrastructure, health, housing, tourism, education, information and communication technology, entrepreneurship, renewable energy development, and in providing for the elderly, the very young, and the dispossessed. I have been privileged to oversee the philanthropic work of the President's Charities Foundation, Incorporated, which on an annual basis provides cash donations to some 17 charitable organizations. I wish to take this opportunity to thank the chairperson and members of the President's Charities Foundation, both past and present, and look forward to the continued support to the President in office. The work of the Foundation is made possible by the generous support of sponsors and the patrons who purchase tickets and participate in our fundraising events. Mr. Speaker, honorable members of the House of Assembly, the greatest part of the President's job is to ensure the smooth functioning of the organs of the state in accordance with the provisions of the Constitution. The Constitution requires the President to discharge his functions on the advice of the appropriate authority, which in most cases is the Prime Minister and/or the Cabinet. But in certain circumstances, maybe the leader of the opposition, certain trade unions, and commissions established by the Constitution. In certain specific circumstances, the President is authorized to act in his own deliberate judgment. Such actions must be in accordance with the provisions of the Constitution and applicable law, and in the best interests of our people and nation. The President cannot arrogate unto himself powers not specifically provided for in the Constitution or applicable law. The office of the President and the President himself remain open and available to all to listen, to advise, and to caution. As the 8th President, I am truly proud of what we have accomplished together. Mr. Speaker, honorable members of this honorable House, the gratifying experience that I referred to earlier would not have been possible without the grace and mercy of Almighty God. Without the love, support, understanding, and cooperation of my dear wife and family, friends, well-wishers, the President, Secretary, and staff of the office, and official residents of the President, and the ADC and the security detail. For all of this, I will be forever thankful and grateful. I express gratitude to the Honorable Prime Minister and members of the House of Assembly for conferring the dignity and the responsibility of the office of the President on me for 2 consecutive 5-year terms. Your confidence and trust is much appreciated. I would further like to thank the line ministries and departments, particularly the Office of the Prime Minister and the Cabinet Secretariat, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Chambers of the Attorney General, the Dominica Police Force, the Government Information Service, the ICT unit, the LEP unit, the local government department, and the Dominica State Prisons for the extension of courtesies and invaluable partnership. Mr. President, it has been the honor of my life to serve the people of Dominica as President. It is the culmination of 60 years of public service as an assistant master at the Dominica Grammar School, a trade unionist, senator, minister of government, ambassador, manager of the National Development Corporation, elected member of the Roseau Central constituency, minister of government once again, and as president. My second 5-year term comes to an end on October the 1st of this year. Until then, I will continue to discharge the functions of president. I commit to my successor that the office and the official residence of the president will make the necessary arrangements to ensure the smoothest possible transition. Mr. Speaker, the unprecedented impacts of climate change, compounded by significant consequences of the COVID-19 pandemic and the Russia-Ukraine war, are expected to continue influencing global discourse in various forums, particularly centered on sustainability, environmental justice, supply chain management, energy reliability, inflation, food security, among others. All of these impacts have serious ramifications for the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals, which are targeted by global leaders to be achieved by 2030. Mr. Speaker, honorable members of this House of Assembly, life experiences have taught us that something good often comes out of a bad situation. The SWOT analysis tool tells us that there are not only threats, but also opportunities. So no matter how severe and sad the circumstances of these challenges are, there are generally upsides as well. The onus is therefore upon us to make the best use of what the crises offer. Some of the opportunities to be derived from the impacts of those 3 crises mentioned are as follows. 1, regarding climate change, we are challenged to embrace eco-friendly technology, to focus on renewable energy as a climate-related phenomenon provided opportunity for growth. Companies can also incorporate green technologies into their designs and operations. To encourage credit facilities to expand lending to projects that will help small businesses become more energy efficient and sustainable. and to facilitate the removal of excessive red tape, which stifles investment in renewable energy and other climate-friendly projects. This would create an environment in which a private sector can thrive and in which investments in renewable energy can make financial sense. 2, the COVID-19 pandemic provides opportunities for increased digitalization, automation, and analysis. There is, as a result, a growing need for employees who can digitize and automate business processes. Organizations which survive also stand to realize cost savings, improve compliance, resilience in processes, and business continuity. Conventional banking, that is standing in line at a teller's cage, is fast becoming something of the past. New and flexible career opportunities are expanding. Virtual is now the new normal. There has been increased connectivity that goes beyond geographical boundaries as it relates to online learning, online meetings and conferences, and online job opportunities. The Russia-Ukraine war's disruption of global supply chains mandate prioritizing of structural transformation that is green, inclusive, and resilient, the rapid transformation from dependence on fossil fuels to relying on renewable energy sources, advancement of the regional economic and social integration agenda. This will help erode the many artificial boundaries that block the movement of people, goods, and services across the Caribbean region, and renewed emphasis on growing what we eat and eating what we grow. This would help reduce the high level of dependency on imported foods and thereby reduce the high food import bill. Mr. Speaker, the issue of electoral reform has loomed over us through several election cycles. Government has played its part in facilitating this initiative through the provision of technical and financial support to the responsible authority, and more recently, the engagement of a prominent and high-profile legal mind in the person of Sir Dennis Byron to review the existing electoral legislation and processes and to submit recommendations for reform. I therefore urge members on both sides of this honorable House and the public at large to acknowledge that the process is almost complete and to approach the consultations and debate on electoral reform from the point of view of ensuring that the rights of all eligible voters are protected, and to be vigilant to ensure that names of persons who are no longer eligible to be on the voters list, in conformity with our existing laws, are removed following due process. I look forward to the consultation on the report of Sir Dennis Byron on this matter, and I have every confidence that the unresolved issues of electoral reform will be given priority attention by this new administration. The Honorable Prime Minister gave the assurance following the results of the election that he will ensure that all stakeholders, including the Commonwealth Secretariat and the OAS, would be engaged in consultation to review the report and recommendations by Sir Dennis Byron, and that once an acceptable draft legislation is agreed upon on this matter, a bill would be brought before Parliament for its consideration. I take the Honorable Prime Minister at his word and look forward to this House bringing this matter to a close. Mr. Speaker, Our journey is one of building back better with sustainability, modernization, and resilience. This journey started following the passage of the two major natural disasters, Tropical Storm Erika in 2015 and Hurricane Maria in 2017, when government resolved to combat global climate change by rebuilding even better and stronger, and to make Dominica the first climate resilient country in the world. To realize this goal, the government integrated climate resilience and disaster risk management into the National Growth and Development Planning Framework. We were journeying satisfactorily until our commendable performance and achievements and high expectations were brought to an abrupt halt in 2020 by the emergence of the coronavirus or COVID-19 pandemic. Focus and resources had to be diverted urgently to address the unprecedented and fluid challenges of this new health crisis. What we had hoped to achieve has been derailed in many ways by the COVID-19 pandemic, and government revenues have taken a hard blow. The Honorable Prime Minister has therefore called for a national reset to put Dominica safely back on a road of sustained progress and prosperity. We are all well known to persevere in the face of adversity, and I am quite confident that we can achieve the national reset agenda in the post-COVID era, including the goal of boosting agriculture to contribute some $700 million to our GDP by 2030, which would be a 100% increase in our present output. To achieve this, however, we would need to take full ownership of this new opportunity and commit to work even harder and smarter with the required energy, purpose, and commitment. The civil service, indeed the entire public sector, which is the machinery through which government policies and programs are advanced and implemented, is essential to making a success of this reset. As a result, there would have to be a new approach in the civil service, statutory corporations, quasi-government organizations, financial institutions, and government contractors, all committing to this new paradigm that is never leaving for tomorrow that which can be done successfully and efficiently today. The same must also apply to the private sector. We must be willing to work assiduously together, including in this Parliament, for the common good of the people of this, our country. Finally, Mr. Speaker, the series of plans, programs, and policies that have been articulated and implemented by the government in recent years clearly indicate that government took on board the lessons learned from the experiences of those three major crises highlighted in this message and the opportunities to be derived from them. Additionally, prospects for the post-COVID era hold much promise for achieving sustainable development and significant progress in advancing the international airport and geothermal electricity development projects, which are pillars in our quest towards the achieving of resilience as a nation. The road ahead is going to be challenging, but we have shown in the past that we are capable of rising to the challenge after all. So let us embrace each other as fellow Dominicans and work together for the benefit, the transformation, and further development of our country. We have done amazingly well in navigating the turbulent times. Let us count our many blessings and give glory to God. God bless you, and may God bless the Commonwealth of Dominica. I thank you all for the courtesy of your attention. I thank you.